Good afternoon, Adam. How
Good
are
afternoon.
you?
Is it afternoon already?
It is. I know. I just looked at my watch. So we're back for our on the couch sessions, which we love, but also gives me high anxiety because normally you're asking me the question. But I think this time I wanted to throw something to you. I've been thinking about it, and I get asked by clients all the time, straight up, what's your square meterage rate? And it is the one thing for me personally that really irks me. And I explain it in the ways that I do, but I think it's probably really important for people watching and follow us to hear from you as the builder why a per square meterage rate is the worst question or the worst thing to focus on.
Absolutely. I love that. I love and hate that question.
Me too.
Because I love that we're going to talk about it, but yeah, it is one of those things that people often ask is, what price per square meter? And the fact of the matter is, if you go out there in the big bad world of building, you will find that a lot of builders will throw out square meter prices. They might even plaster them on billboards, but certainly if asked, you'll find a lot of builders will say, blah, 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 it's $1,800 a square meter, $1,600 a square meter, whatever it is that they might say. That's all well and good, but that price really doesn't mean a lot. And as a builder, it does irk me a little bit because I full well know that that price doesn't include so many things, and it doesn't include any site specifics. And if you think about when you go and buy a car or something like that, you might see the showroom base model, but then if you want the heated seats and you want this and you want that, all of a sudden the price goes up. But building a home is so much more complex than that though too, and it's so much more money. Like you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this thing, and so if you're out by 10%, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean?
And most people don't have that in the budget.
Absolutely.
No
Where
one.
are they getting the money?
Yeah, every conversation I have with people, it's like, what's the budget? And everyone goes to their full budget. And so if
but thinking that it's X amount per square metre because that's
Correct.
the numbers that are getting thrown around. So as a builder that actually takes pride in what we do from our quoting side, from our estimating side, for me it's so important that people go beyond the question of how much to build per square metre and ask the question, how much is it going to cost to build my house?
Yes.
The house that I want,
Yep.
the house with the inclusions that I want. I want stone countertops, I want some fancy feature facade, I want whatever it is that you want, but then also the land that you plan on building on. Where is it? Is it steep? Is it flat? Does it need a treatment system? There's so many questions that need to be asked, and they need to be discussed before we just spit out a price, which is why I'm so passionate about and very reserved when people ever ask me that question of, how much does it cost to build? I'm like, well, that's a very open-ended question. I can tell you, I can give you a number. And there's probably scenarios out there where maybe that 1,800 a square meter would cover it, maybe. But we're talking perfect world stuff. We're talking, so it's the wrong question you need to be asking. And I really think the question you need to be asking is how much does it cost to build my home?
Yeah, and I think just quickly throwing in there from my perspective, the land thing is a really big thing. I can think of a few estates, and not so much, the simple, easy cookie cutter estates where they're done well by developers that we have close relationships, but your acreage ones or other ones that are done by out-of-town developers. And I know that I've had clients go into those estates and the land value's been maybe within 5 or 10 grand, house sizes have been within 5 to 10 square meters, inclusions have been very similar. Yet, because of the things you've just mentioned, there is $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 difference between contract value in the same estate. So how can you have a square meterage rate as an average that you just pump out to people? And I feel like some people go and buy land based on those square meterage rates they hear.
Yes.
And guess what? Then the reality comes out later on and they're stuck with a block they can't build on.
That's right. Yeah, or they certainly can't build now, and then they have to put their dreams on hold.
Correct.
They could have, in theory, they could have done it now, but the investigations, there wasn't enough time put into that process. And of course, hey, I'm the same sometimes. When I want an answer or I want something, I want it now. And I might come to you and go, Shay, what are we doing? What's the answer? And it's like, well, hang on, I need a bit of time. So we're all a bit like that, and I understand that. But really, building is one of those things where you do have to take a time out for a moment and go, okay, we can definitely get an answer. That's fine. We can work out exactly how much it's going to cost, but can't tell you right now. Let's get some details. Let's get some specifics. Let's discuss this further. And then we can actually accurately do that. And,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, that for me is so important, and it's why we offer true fixed price contracts. It's how we can even do it. I couldn't offer that if we were just pulling prices out of the air, but because we take a bit of time, we do our research, we get to understand what the client actually wants, then that price that we give them, and when we put pen to paper, we're 100% confident that's it. It's a locked in fixed price, and we're good to go. You know, there's no variations and none of this other stuff that
and
goes
I
on.
think that's a really valid thing to say, and just to throw into it, it's kind of like totally off topic but on topic, is go and look at our product reviews. We're up to 38, 5-star, and there's not one of them that doesn't mention the fact that it was fixed price, no variations, and that the biggest thing that they valued the most at the end, outside of our beautiful services and everything else, was that there was no out-of-pocket expenses, and they really knew where they stood.
Yes.
And that's why base prices don't work.
That's exactly why they don't work, Shay.
Well, thank you for answering my important question,
That's
because
okay.
it gets asked all the time, and I explain it in my own way, but I think from a builder's perspective, it's better coming from you than me, because you know more than I do when it comes to that final aspect.
Absolutely.
Well, until
All right,
next
good
time.
stuff. Absolutely. Thanks, Shay.